Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Someone requested me to explain pandas from the Kaggle learn. So from today onwards, we will start learning pandas. First, we will read the tutorial, then we will do the exercise. Okay, so let's start this one. Let me read line by line. Introduction. In this course, you will learn about pandas. Okay, along the way, you will complete hands-on exercise and getting started. This you have to first import pandas, right? Now, there are main two objects. One is data frame, another one is series. A data frame is a table and it contains an array of individual entries, each of which has a certain value. Each entry corresponds to a row or a column. See, pd.dataframe. Dataframe is a constructor and inside the constructor, you are passing a what? A dictionary. Yes, no. These are keys of the dictionary. 5021, these are the values of that key. Okay. Now what is the output? See here. Yes is the column name. The column name. 5021, the values of this column. 5021. Same way. No is the column name. 131 2 are the values of this column. Okay. So this data frame constructor will create a table which will have two columns. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes column will have these values. No column will have these values. I hope this is completely clear to you. Now what is 0 and 1 then? They are index. We will study. So in this example, the no entry has the value of 131 and the yes entry has the value of 50 and so on. So data frame entries are not limited to integer, but you can use strings as well. Okay. See, same, but here instead of integer values, they have put some string values. So what is happening here? Data frame is a constructor and this is a dictionary. Bob and Sue, these are keys and these are values. They just mentioned that not necessarily it will be integers only. It can be a string as well. Okay, all the other things are same. So we are using this data frame constructor to generate these data frame objects. The syntax for declaring a new one is a dictionary whose keys are column names, values a list of entries, and this is a standard way of constructing a data frame. We have understood. Now the dictionary list constructor assigns values to the column levels. See, 0, 1, 2, 3 for the row levels, assigning values. Now sometimes it is okay. But if you want to give any name, then how can you do this? So this list of row labels used in a data frame is known as index. This is known as an index. Now we can assign values to it by using an index parameter. See here. Same way, pd.dataframe, there is a dictionary. Dictionary has two columns. They have their values. Now, the extra thing is here you have provided something called index parameter. Index parameter will give this name to the index instead of giving 0, 1, 2, 3. See this one, same as this one, but instead of 0 and 1, they have written product A, product B. Okay. So you have understood that data frame is a constructor which is creating this table. Bob and Sue are the column names. These are the values and by default index is 0 1, but if you want to change you have to give this index parameter where you can mention the index name. Okay, as of now we have understood this much. Now the second concept, series. What is a series? It's if data frame is a table, series is a list. See, pd.series 1 2 3 4 5. So these are the values, so I can write 1 2 3 4 5. And what are these? You can say it now. These are index. By default index 0 1 2 3 4 5. So series is nothing, but if you take a single column from the data frame, then it is known as a series. Okay, it is a list. If this is a dictionary, then a series is a list. See in the third bracket, you initialize a list. Okay. So a series is a single column of a data frame. We have understood. So you can assign row labels to the series the same way as before by using an index parameter. Same 30, 35, 40. These are the values of the series. Now index, by default index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I have used the index parameter and I have provided the names. So these are the name. Okay. So same like data frame, you just have to use the index parameter and inside this you can provide the name. It is also like a list. You have to use a third bracket. Okay. Now what is the name of this series? That is product A. Okay, so you can give a name to a series. Now, what is D type? Can you tell me what is D type? D type is the data type. That is integer 64 here. Because see, these are the integer values. So that is why the data type is integer. Okay, so these are intimately related. It's helpful to think of a data frame as actually being bunch of a series glued together. Okay, now reading data files. So we have understood what is a data frame, what is a series. Data frame is a table, series is a list, or we can say single column from the data frame is known as a series. Okay. Now reading data files. Being able to create a data frame or series by hand is handy, but most of the time we won't actually be creating our own data by hand. Instead, we will be working with the data already exists. As of now, whatever we have done, most of the time we have used an existing data, and that existing data is in, can you tell me, is in data can be stored in any format. We used the CSV file. You can use the Excel file. You remember dot read underscore CSV to convert the CSV file into the data frame. Read underscore Excel to convert the Excel file into the data frame. Okay, so you can do this. But if you want, you can also create your own series, your own data frame. Okay, that is also possible. Now, what is a CSV file? CSV file is comma separated value. Let's now aside it will look like that. Every value is separated by a comma. This CSV file can be converted into the data frame. Now set aside our toy data sets and see what a real data set looks like. Okay, see this is a data set of CSV file. Now they are converting the CSV file into the data frame. So wine reviews is the data frame. Now if you use the save attribute will provide you the number of rows and number of columns. So this amount of rows and this amount of columns the data set has. This one, wine reviews. You open your Google Colab and run this code. Okay. Then you can also check the save attribute. Remember, this is a attribute. Okay. There is a difference between attribute and a function. What is the difference? Let me know in the comment section. Okay. So dot head will show you the first 5 rows. Okay. I will ask you a question. If I want some random 5 rows, not the first one, not the last one. For first one, it is head. For the last one, it is tail. But I want to see some 5 random rows, and every time I run this code, every time the output will be different. 5 rows, but randomly. How? Let me know. Okay. Now the pd.read underscore csv function is well endowed with over 30 optical parameters you can specify. For example, you can see in this data set that the csv file has a built-in index. Okay, which pandas did not pick up on automatically. So, okay, fine. To make pandas use that column, we can specify an index underscore column. They are saying that it has an index number, but pandas didn't pick that. So, what you can do, you can give this parameter index underscore col, and then you set it from 0. So, automatically it will start from 0. Okay, let's do the exercise. See, the first step in most data analytics project is reading the file. First, we have to run this as usual. So the setup will be complete. Run the code cell to check. You will create series and data frame both by hand and by reading data files. Okay. So this is the exercise. Apples, bananas, 30, 21. You have to create this data frame. I think you can do this. I'll do copy paste, but I'll suggest you to write it by your own. You can. I'll edit it here. So fruits equal to pd.dataframe. You don't know. You have only two values, 30, comma 21. 30, comma 21. Okay. Now you can create this way also by giving the names, or you can give it as columns. So columns equal to, I'll write apples, comma, bananas. If you write in this way, then this will be the columns name, and it will, and this will be the values. Um, okay, sorry. You have to provide the particular shape. Okay, so you can do it in this way, or let me show you another way. Fruits equals to the way they did. Here I will write apples, bananas. Okay, so I'm so sorry. Here you have to write. Okay, here you have to write 21. Now let me run this. Okay, so in both ways you can do. You can write it in a dictionary format, or you can write it in this way. Okay, by giving the columns. Same thing. You can see their solution. Now this is the exercise. Okay, so create a data frame fruit cells that matches the diagram below. Okay, so let me paste the same thing. So here, if not this one, let me copy the first one. Hmm, no. Similarly, I can do in both ways, but I'm following this one. You can try out the second one. So what you have to write? There are two values, 35. Another one is 41. Perfect. This is the name, bananas. Two values, 21, comma 34. Okay. Now one more thing. You have to give the index. Let me show you. This one. Okay. So you have to write index equals to, what are the things you want inside? 2017 sales, comma 2018 sales. Okay. Now let me run this. Uh oh, sorry. So 21, 34. Okay. Sorry for the coding error. So in this way you can do. You can write in this way also. In that scenario, you have to write pd.dataframe. You have to provide the values. You have to provide the columns, and you have to write index. Okay, you do it by yourself. If you can't, let me know in the comment section. Now create a variable ingredients with a series that looks like this one. Okay, so you have to create a series now, not data frame. So it will be pd dot series. Exactly. T dot series. But before that, you have to create this. So I can write quant equals to, oh, all these quants I have to write. 4 cups and 1 cup and 2 large and 1 can. Okay, now the item name equals to flour, comma milk, comma eggs, comma spam. Okay, now see now what to do. pd dot series, inside this you write quantities, So this is the series. See here, let me show you. This is the series value and you have to provide the index. So what is the index here? Index is the item name. So I will write index equals to item name. Okay. Now I think it's perfect. Quantities. Sorry, quant. So, uh, okay. So you have to give a name also. The name is dinner here. See, you have to write name equal to product. So I can write name equal to dinner. Now let's see. Okay. Perfect. Now the next question is converting the CSV wine reviews into a data frame called reviews. Okay. So this is the file path. You have to convert it into a data frame. Copy this. Just copy PD CSV. Where am this? Hmm, but they have given it as a path. What can I do? Let's see what is the. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. You have to always write it in the column. Oh, unexpected column in reviews. Unnamed 0. Okay, so you can give an index column exactly. Index column equals to 0. Let me show you here. Okay, same. Perfect. Now run the cell below to create a display. Okay, run. Data frame, they have created a data frame. Cows is the column name, goat column name. These are the values, index year 1, year 2. Okay, what I have to do here. In the cell below, write code to save this data frame into a CSV. Okay, they have created a data frame for you. Now they are telling you to save it into a CSV file so that someone else can use it later. Okay, no problem. So I can write animals dot. I will convert it into CSV file. So I have to write to underscore CSV. Okay. Now inside this, I have to write cows and goats. Let me run this. Okay. So you are done. So in our next class, we will do this one, indexing, selecting, assigning. So as of now, what we have studied right now, what is a data frame, what is a series, how to create a data frame in two ways, and how to create a series, how to name a series, how to give the name, then how to convert. This one we already knew before, but okay, if you didn't knew and first time, then we have done this one also, index column using this, and also we have understood how to convert a data frame into a CSV file. So if you have not understood anything, let me know in the comment section. If you have liked, please let me know in the comment section. Your comments means a lot to me. Thank you so much. We will meet in our next class. Till then, bye. Happy learning. Hello everyone. Welcome back to this channel. So let's continue our Pandas course. In our last class, we understood how to create a data frame, how to create a series, how to convert a data frame into a CSV file, and the vice versa. Okay, so today we are going to understand indexing, selecting, and assigning. Let me first read out, then we will do the exercise. See, pro data scientists do this dozen of times a day. Okay, now introduction. Selecting specific values of a pandas data frame or series to work on is an implicit step in almost any data operation. So one of the first thing you need to learn in working with data in Python is how to go about selecting the data points relevant to you. This simply means that your data set may be huge, maybe a big data set, but you want some specific rows or some particular columns for your purpose. So in that scenario, you have to know how to fetch those specific columns or those specific rows. Okay, so you have to know how to fetch them. That is important. That is the main theme of this complete lesson. Okay. First, you have to import the pandas. Then here, this is the CSV file, and you are converting it into a data frame. Okay, set option maximum rows 5. No problem. Now, native accession. Native Python objects provide good ways of indexing data. Pandas carries all of this over, which helps make it easy to start with. If you have studied indexing in Python, then it is kind of similar. Okay, so first consider this data frame. Reviews. Reviews is the data frame of uh, reviews of winery. Okay, so it has this much of rows and 13 columns. Now, suppose you want to see only a few columns or any particular rows from this data set. So how we can access that? That is what we are going to learn. If you want in Python, we can access the property of an object by accessing it as an attribute. So the property of any object can be accessed as an attribute. Like if the object is a book, then it might have a title property. If it is a car, it might have a color property. So you can just fetch the title property by writing book.title, car.color, like that. So columns in pandas data frame work in the same way. Now suppose this is the dataset. The name of the dataset is reviews. I want only the country column. So how can I fetch this country column? For that I can write reviews dot country. So if you write this code, then it will show you only the country column. Okay, this will not show you the complete data set. I don't want that complete data set. I just want this particular column, that is the country column. So if you write in this way, it will give you the country column. Okay, the way you access the attribute. See here, name, country, length, how many rows, and data type is object. Okay. Now suppose if we have a Python dictionary, then we can access its values using the indexing operator. This is we are going to use the most of the time. So we can do the same with columns in a data frame. So if you write reviews, country, then it will give you the same result. You are just using a third bracket, and inside this you are mentioning the name of the column. Okay, so the same thing, the same output, but can be fetched in both of the ways. So you can write reviews.country or you can write reviews country. Okay. Now these are the two ways of selecting a specific series out of a data frame. Neither of them is more or less syntactically valid than the other, but indexing operator have an advantage that it can handle column names with reserved characters in them. So if we had a country providence column, reviews.country providence would not work. So the problem is that, let's say your column has country space providence or any kind of special character. So the problem is that if that time you use this format dot country space county or space providence, so it will not work. This cannot handle the special character, but in case of indexing operator, it can handle that also. And most of the time we are going to use this indexing operator. Okay. Now see, now suppose I want only this one. So how can I write this? First, I have to reach in this country column. So first I will write the name of the data frame, that is reviews. Then I will write the name of the column, that is country. Then I want the first row from this particular column. So I will write 0. So first reviews, then country. So now I have all the complete country column. Now I have mentioned that is 0. So it will give me only the first value, Italy. See, um, this is the output. Okay. Now, suppose if I ask you that I want uh, Portugal only. So, what will be the code? So, that time you have to write reviews country 1. First, data frame, then the column, then the particular index. Then it will fetch you Portugal. Okay. So, this way you can select any particular column. Now indexing in pandas. The indexing operator and attribute selection are nice because they work just like they do in the rest of the Python ecosystem. As a novice, this makes them easy to pick up and use. However, pandas has its own accessor operators, LOC and iloc. These two we are going to learn now. Okay. Both of them have some similarities and some dissimilarities as well. First one is The iloc is index based selection. So pandas indexing works in one of these two paradigm. The first is index based selection, which is termed as iloc, I for index. This way you can remember. And the second one is LOC. Let's first understand what is iloc. Suppose you want to know the first row of data in the data frame. I just want this one as the output. So how can I fetch this particular row? So for that, what you have to do? Mention the name of the data frame dot iloc 0. It means that give me all the values which are in the first row or zeroth row. Okay. So you are just passing the index value and it is giving you the result. Now both are row first, column second. So this is the opposite of what we do in native Python. So this means that it is marginally easier to retrieve rows than to retrieve columns. No problem. Let's do some exercise. See here. What will be the output? First, the name of the data frame, iloc, index based location. Now here the meaning is row comma column. This one is separating row, this side it is column. So here you are mentioning column as 0. 0 column means the country column. Perfect. So it will take the country column. Now in the row part, see it is written as only colon. Think it as in left side of this column, it is given the beginning position. In the right side, it is given the ending position. So it has not mentioned anything. That means it is starting from the beginning and it is going till the end of the data set. So that's why it has started from 0 and up to the end of the data set. Okay. So it is like you are selecting all the rows but only the country column, the first column. Okay. Let me repeat the whole thing. Reviews the name of the data frame, iloc, index based location, and inside this is the row, this is the column. So you are taking the zeroth column and in the row side you have given only column. That means it is starting from the beginning going till the end. Okay. Now let's do some exercise, then it will be more clear. So on its own, this operator which comes from native Python means everything. This means you are considering all the rows, all the rows starting from the beginning and till the end. Now, when combined with other selectors, however, it can be used to indicate a range of values. For example, to select the country column from just the first, second, third. Like I just want Italy, Portugal, and the third one, not the complete data set. So the column is same. Column is the country column, the zeroth column. What about the rows? See, the column is same, it is 0. Now in the row, you have to give first, second, and third row. So it will start from the beginning. You are considering the first row also. So if you are starting from the beginning, you don't need to mention anything. You are starting from the 0. So you are writing nothing. Now colon, and after that you have to mention the ending point. What is the ending point? Ending point is the up to the third row. So you have to write 3. Then it will be considered in the zeroth position, in first, in second. So you will get the first row, second row, third row. You know the last one is excluded. Okay. So in this way, if you do the slicing, you can easily slice some parts of the data set. Okay. Now the next one is label based selection. This is LOC operator. That was iloc. This is LOC. That was index based. This is label based. Okay. To get the first entry in the reviews, you can write reviews.loc 0, comma country. Okay, here you are mentioning the name of the column. So it will give you the first value of the country column. Okay, zeroth value and from the country column. Okay, so this way you can use LOC operator. Now, iloc is conceptually simpler than LOC because it ignores the dataset indices. You are just directly using the name of the column, so that in the LOC, and you are using the uh, index in iloc. Okay. We consider the data set like a big matrix and we have to index by position. By contrast, uses the information in the indices to do its work. Since your data set usually has meaningful indices, so it's usually easier to do things using LOC instead. Okay. Now suppose I want some particular columns. So you can write tester name, second column, third column. You want the values from this column. You want all the values from this column. So same way you have to write row, comma, column. In the column you have mentioned it as a list. Okay, so these are the columns you want to see. Column part. First part is row. In the row, you have written only colon. That means it is starting from the beginning till the end. So it is starting from zeroth value till the end of the data set. And these are the columns you want to see. Okay. Now choosing between LOC, ILOC, you can read this. All they want to say that in case of ILOC, the last one is excluded. So and in case of LOC, this concept is not doesn't exist. Okay. While doing exercise later, it will be more clear to you. But read it once. This is the simple thing they have said that in case of ILOC, it follows normal Python slicing rule, but in case of LOC, it is not like that. Okay. Now the next one, manipulating the index. Label-based selection derives its power from the labels in the index. Critically, the index we use is not immutable. Okay, they're saying that you can set your index by using the set index method. So here what they have done, they have retained set underscore index method and they have passed title. So now what will happen? Title will become the index. So title was a column. See, this was the column before. Now it has become the index of this data set. Okay. For any need, you may need to do that. So you can simply set your index by using that set index method. Okay. You can transform any column to your to the index of your data frame. Fine. Now conditional selection. Conditional selection means you are going to select some rows or some columns based on some condition. Just like that, I want only those name of the wines which have been produced in Italy. So how can I write? So I first I have to access the country column. So I have to write reviews dot country. Then I will have to provide the condition equals to Italy. This is the operator which will check whether the country is Italy or not. If it is Italy, then it will give you true. If not, then it will give you false. Okay. So what it will do? It will first select the country Italy. It will check. Is it Italy? Yes. Write it as true. Second one, is it Italy? No. So write it as false. Okay. So in this way, it will compare with all the values and it will give you the output. Okay. Now you have got these Boolean values, but you want to see the data frame where the country is only Italy. So for that you have to pass this one, this code. I mean this part you have to pass as reviews.loc. Then what will happen? It will only show you the result where the binary value is true. Okay. So it will show you only those values of the row where the binary value is true. Okay. So you can see only those wines which are produced in Italy. Okay. So you have to pass this condition inside reviews.loc. This is known as conditional selection. Fine. Now this data frame has 20,000 rows. The original data had, okay, so you can guess that 15% of the wines are made from Italy. So you can guess some data from this. Now we also wanted to know which ones are better than average. Like reviewed 80 to 100 point scale. So you want to know which has accurate at least 90 points. So you have two conditions. First condition is it must be from Italy. Second is greater than 90 review points. So how can you write? First you have to give this condition. This is the second condition. These are added by operator and operator. It will check whether this value is true from here and true from here also. If it satisfied both the condition, then it will fetch particularly those rows. Okay, so you have to write reviews.loc. So either the country is Italy or the review points is greater than equal to 90. Okay, so in this way you can use both the conditions. So you can get the results accordingly. Now suppose I want any wine that is either made in Italy or have a good average. Okay. So in that scenario, this is or. So you are using a or operator. So you can write reviews dot country equal to Italy. or reviews dot points greater than equal to 90. Okay, so reviews dot loc, you have to pass these two conditions, either this one or this one. If any of them is true, then it will show you that particular rows. Okay, this particular column will give you true false true false. This condition will give you true false true false. When both of them are true, sorry, here when one of them at least is true, then that data particular row will be fetched. Now Pandas comes with some few built-in conditional sectors, two of which is highlighted here. That is in. If you write this in, that means it will automatically check whether it is in Italy or in France. So it will show you those two countries, Italy or France. So reviews dot country, reviews is the name of the data frame, country is the name of the column. So you are taking this data frame, you are taking this particularly column of the data frame, then you are checking whether this is Italy or France. Yes, so it will be taken. Italy or France, so it will be taken. Italy or France, so it will be taken. Then you are passing it through reviews.log, so it will give you all those rows where it is true. Okay. The second one is null or not null. Is null or not null means you are just checking whether it has empty value or it doesn't have any empty value. Is null means it has empty value. Not null, it doesn't have any empty value. So it will show you only those values where it has no empty values for which column? For the mentioned column. Price. Reviews means you are taking the data set. Price, you are taking any particular column. Not null, you are checking whether there are any null values or not. So it will give you true false boolean values. Now if you are passing it through the reviews.log, then it will show you only those rows where the value is true. Okay. Now you can assign the data also. If you write in this way, reviews, critic, everyone, then you can assign any particular data. Okay. Or you can also iterate with values. If you write range, lane of reviews, so what will happen? It will calculate the length of the reviews and it will be replaced. Okay. So all these things you can try. Now let's do the exercise. See first, let me run this. Now setup is complete. So dot head will show you the first 5 rows, and after that you have to start your exercise. Select the description column from reviews and assign the result to the variable DSA. It is easy. You can write reviews dot description. Okay, so let me run this one. What happened? Okay, so this is fine. You can write in other way also. If I write DSC equals to reviews description by indexing operator. Okay, now let me run this again. Okay, so in any of the way you can do. This one is better because most of the times you are going to use this one. Why? What is the problem with this one? You have just studied that it cannot handle the special characters. If there is any space or any special character, it can handle that. Okay. Now, what is the type? For checking the type, you know, you just have to use the type function. So if you write it, then it will show you the type. You can see the type of that particular column. Okay. Now select the first value from the description column of the reviews. First value from the description column. So name of the data frame, column name, description, dot, first value, index based selection and 0. Okay. You can write in other way also. So if I write, let me copy this first. Equals to reviews and description. What do you think? It will be an error or it will give you the output? Perfect. So you can write in this way, you can write in this way also. Okay. Now select the first row of the data from reviews and assigning it to a variable first row. So reviews dot first row of the data or first record. So reviews dot, you want all the columns, so you know what is about column names, you just have to fetch the first one. Okay. Or if you write this one, what will be the output? What do you think? Same. Okay. Now the next one. First, 10 values from the description column in the reviews. So first, name of the data frame. Now give the column. You want description column. Now you want only 10 values. So you can write iloc 10. Now let me run this. What is the error? Sorry, you have to give colon because it is starting from 0 till the 10th value. Okay. Now suppose if I write it, in this way, then what do you think the output will be? See, there will be a problem because the last one is excluded. In case of LOC, sorry, in case of LOC, the last one is included, but in case of ILOC, the last one is excluded. That's why we want first 10 values. So we are giving up to 10. The first 10th value is ignored. So it will take from 0 to 9, 10, total 10 values. But here what is happening? It is considering from 0 till 10. So it is taking actually 11 values because in LOC, the last one is not not excluded, so the last one is also included, so here it is taking 11 values. That is what is shown here. So if you use LOC, you have to keep it in mind. Okay. Now let me show you one more thing. If I write description equals to reviews and I write description, now if I write, now what do you think the output will be? Will it be okay or there will be an error? No error, because the same thing, you are accessing it in a different way. And this is what we are going to use a lot. Okay. Now you use this index levels 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 and assigning the result to a variable sample reviews. So what you have to do, you have to mention the reviews. If I write LOC and I pass 1, 2, 3, 5, what do you think the output will be? See, too many indexers. So what you have to do? Okay. Now if I write indices equals to 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Now let's say I write um, sample reviews equal to, here I have to write indices. Now what do you think? Will it work? Oh, sorry. So, okay. So in both of the ways you can do. You can directly write the values here or you can mention it in a list and then you can call the list. Okay. It will give you, see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. All these rows. Okay. Now the next question. Create a variable df containing country, province, region 1, region 2. See, if I tell you to do it in that way, which one we learned in our last class, if I tell you generate the following data frame, that is not the solution. I'm just telling you. If you want, you can try. Just create this data frame by yourself. Write this, create the list, put the key values, then put the values of the keys, and give the position, and try to create this data frame. Okay, this is a good practice. But here that is not the solution. Okay, here they have said that only fetch those values 0, 1, 10, and 100. And here country, province, region 1, region 2. Okay, so here what you have to do, you have to mention first the column names equals to, what are the column names? Country, province, and region 1 and region 2. Okay, so sorry, underscore 2. Okay, and here indices equals to, what are the values? 0, 1, 10, 100. Okay, now what you will do, df equal to reviews dot loc, and here you passes indices comma columns, column names. Okay, now let me first run this. See, the index position 0, 1, 10, 100. See, so this is index values, and column names are the column names. See, country, province, region 1, region 2. So these are the name of the columns. You have set the name of the you have set the name of the columns, and you have provided the indices. So you have given the indices position here, and these are the column names. That is how you use loc, loc. Here we loc. After that, loc was there. See, the first position, the zeroth value, the first row, and country column. So same. Okay, now create a variable df containing country and variety columns of the first 100 records. Okay, so you can use loc, iloc. Okay, you can do in both of them. Okay, okay, now first write, suppose names equals to country, comma, variety. Okay, now what you have to write, df equal to reviews dot loc, and now you have to give all the rows till first 100. So you have to write 0 to, it will be 100 or 99. This will be 99 because it is LOC. Last one is included. So if I write 100, then it will generate an error because it will take 100 first 101 records. That's what we don't want. So that's why you have to write 0 to 99. And here you have to give the name of the columns. Column, row, comma, column. Perfect. Now if I do this using uh, iloc, then so, so here you have to provide the iloc, and here I have to change because the last one is not included in case of iloc. So now it is fine, but it will show you a problem. Let me show you first. See, um, it requires numeric indexers. For iloc, you have to provide the numerical values. That is what is the difference between iloc and loc. Okay, so what are the values of country and variety? This is in the first column, and on variety here. So see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you want 0th column, you want 11th column. So you have to write 0, comma 11. Okay, so if you use LOC, you have to give in that way, but if you use ILOC, you have to write it in this way. Okay, perfect. Now create a data frame Italian wines, containing reviews of wines made in Italy. Okay. So reviews dot country. That's what they have already done. Is Italy. Now, what will be the output? The output will be true or false. Let me show you. So this is incorrect. So that's why they are not showing you the output. But we can decode here. So if I copy this and let me paste this. See, this is giving you true, false, true, false. So you have to pass it through reviews. Okay. If you are passing it through the data frame, then it will give you all those values where the country is Italy. If you want, you can just print it. See, all the countries are Italy here. Okay, so you can see only those ones which are produced in Italy. Okay, now this one is create a data frame containing all reviews with at least 95 points or from Australia or New Zealand. Oh, okay. 95 points and from either from Australia or from New Zealand. So first, let's create the conditions one by one. So first it will be reviews dot country. Here you have to use the engine operator. So this one. Let me copy this. But please don't copy. So reviews dot country is in either Australia or in New Zealand. Okay. So it may be either in Australia or in New Zealand. So if you run this, it will give you some binary values. Okay. Now you have to also add that with at least 95 points. So you have to use AND operator. No, let me show you another reviews dot points greater than at least 95. So equals to 95. Okay, now if I run this. Okay, so you have got two values. Now you have to connect them by an AND operator. So I can write this one. You have to use AND operator. Okay, now this is a condition. Either it is true or mm, this is a condition. Okay, this will also give you some true false value. Both of the condition you are checking. Now you have to pass it through reviews.loc. So okay, see country either Australia or New Zealand. 47 rows. So there may be some New Zealand also. And the review point 198. So above 95. Okay. So in this way you can use multiple conditions. So try to think of your own what are the things you can do. Let's say if I tell you that tell me this value. Um Not this one, sorry. Uh Give me only the name of the column, only the name of the wines which are produced in this particular region. That may be a condition. Second one may be that give me the name of the wines, those which are produced in this region, and the price is greater than 300. Okay, so that may be a condition. So you have to use two conditions and you have to add them, and then you have to fetch those rows. Okay, or you can also give some condition on this like designation equals to rare, give me only those wines. Okay, so in this way you try to think of your own the questions also you have to think of your own, and then you try to solve the problems. Okay, the more you practice the things will be more clear. So in our next class we will study this one. So till then, bye, happy learning. Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. So let's continue our Pandas course on Kaggle. As of now, we have learned how to create a data frame, how to create a series, how to convert a CSV file into data frame, and the vice versa. Okay, in our second class, we learned how to select any particular columns or any specific rows based on index or based on the column name, how to retrieve them from a big data set. All these things we did in our second class. Today we are going to do this one, summary functions and maps. Okay, first we will read the tutorial, then we will do the exercise. The main theme of this particular lesson is extracting insights from the data so that you can know what is the hidden thing in your data set. So in the last tutorial, we learned how to select relevant data. Exactly. However, the data does not always come out of the memory in the format we want it right out of the bat. Exactly. Sometimes you may do some changes as well. Let me give you an example. Suppose in a data set, you have a birthday column, but you want the age. So what you can do, you can derive the age by subtracting the present year to the birth year. Okay, so sometimes you may need to do some task. It may not be completely ready. Let's see the hidden code. So pandas imported maximum 5 rows, numpy, and the file is converted to data frame. Okay. Reviews is the same data set we worked before as well. Binary reviews. Okay. Now summary functions. See describe method. Do you know what is describe method? Describe method will give you an overall statistical measure of the dataset. Okay. So here they have written reviews dot points dot describe. That means reviews is the name of the data frame, point is the name of the column, and describe function will give you the statistical measure. So here you are getting some statistical measures on the column points. If I write reviews dot describe, then what will be the output? I think you know reviews dot describe will give you give you the statistical measures of all the numerical columns, right? But here as I have specified that I want the measures from the points column, so they are giving me the details of the points column. Okay, they will provide you count, mean, minimum value, 25 percentile, median, 75 percentile, maximum value. All these things you can see by using the describe function. Perfect. Now this method generates a high level summary. Yeah, you can have a basic idea about the dataset, about that particular column. And it is type error because see this one is numerical column. Now what about string data? See tester underscore name. Uh, just see this is a column of string, not numerical values. So if you apply describe on that, then it will give you count as total number, unique values, how many unique values are there, top values, what is the frequency. So these kinds of data you can get from the categorical column. Okay. Now, if you want to get some particular simple salary statistic, summary statistic about a column in a data frame or a series, let's say I don't want so much details. I want specifically mean. So I can directly write mean function. I want median. I can directly write median function. If I want the minimum value, I can write min. If I want the maximum value, I can write max. Okay, so all these functions are directly available to you. You can use directly. Now, suppose you want to see the list of unique values. Here, you want to see the total how many number of testers are there and what are their name. So, you want unique values. Now, what you can write? Just you have to use dot unique function. So, it will give you all the unique value. So, all the name will come only one. Okay. So, what are the things we have learned? Describe on numerical column, describe on categorical column, mean value and many other value if you want to derive an unique function. Okay. Now let's see this one. Now value counts. Value counts is to see a list of unique values. I want to know how many time Roger has given the review. How many time Matt has given the review. So I want to count the values it is appearing in the dataset. So see, Roger is appearing 25,000 time. Top reviewer. Michael 15,000 times. Fiona, Christiana. So in this way, you can see that all these persons have given reviews for how many wine. Okay. Now, maps. Map is a term borrowed from mathematics. For a function that takes one set of values, maps them to another set of values. It's simple. You have two set of values. You are taking one set of values and you are mapping them to another set of values. See, in data science, we often have a need for creating new representation from existing data or for transforming data from the format it is in to the format we want to be. Okay, we want it to be. So maps are what handle this work, making them extremely important. There are two mapping methods that you will use often. Map is the first and slightly simpler one. For example, suppose that we wanted to remain the scores, the wines received to 0. Okay, so let's see. You have calculated the mean value, that is this one. But you want the mean to become 0. So you have to do some manipulations on the data set. So how can you do this? See here. Review points mean. First you have calculated the mean. Review dot points dot mean. So you have got the mean value of the points column. Okay. Now what you are doing? You are using map function and you are running a lambda function. I hope you know what is a lambda function. This is just an anonymous function. You can use lambda so that you can write a complete function in a single line. Okay, this is very helpful. So here lambda function means it will just perform some work. What is the work? P minus review points mean. This means you will take all the values from the data set. First one, second one, third one. You are taking all the values. P for let's say points. Minus you are dividing the mean value. So you are taking the first point. Let me show you. You are taking the first point 87. You are subtracting it by 84. So you are sorry, not 84. What was the mean value? Whatever the mean value was, 88. So you are subtracting 87 minus 88. So your value will be minus 1. Okay, minus 1 point something. So in this way you are taking every particular point 87, 90, 90, and you are subtracting by the mean value minus 88. So whatever the result is, that is stored here. That is shown as the output. Okay. So lambda is just a function, anonymous function, which is used for doing any operations. Okay. And map is mapping every point. Okay. This is for mapping purpose. You have to call the map function, map method. Okay. So what you are doing here, you are just trying to make the mean 0, and you can guess that when you are getting some positive values, then you can say these are above mean value. When you are getting some negative values, you can say that they are below mean value. If you are getting 0, you can say that the mean is 0. Okay, the mean is 0, but that value is equal to mean. Okay, so this kind of operations you may need to do by using map. Okay, now the function you pass to map should expect a single value from the series, a point value, and return a transformed version of the value. Dot map returns a new series where all the values have been transformed by your function. See, apply function is also a very equivalent method that you are going to use a lot. So understand it completely. See, here we have just written a function, normal Python function. What they are doing, they are taking points and they are subtracting to the with the mean value. Simple. So now what you are doing here, you are using lambda function. That's why you wrote it in the single line. But here we have just created a separate function. Okay, nothing else. Now you are calling the apply function. Then you are calling the function name. That means you are calling this function. So that means take every individual row and call this function, do this calculation, return the value, and keep it as output. Okay, so this is simply done here. So either you can do in this way or you can do in this way by using apply method. Okay, now if we had called reply, reviews.apply with access equal to instead, then instead of passing a function to transform each row, we would need to give a function to transform each column. It depends on whether you want to change the row wise or you want to change the column wise. Depending on that, you can write the axis. Axis equal to index or axis equal to columns. Okay. We will do some examples, then it will be more clear. Note that map and apply return new transform series data frames respectively, but they don't modify the original data. If we look at the first row of the reviews, it has still its value. It is simple that they want to say that they are performing some operations and giving you the output, but they are not changing the real data. Okay, nothing else. So, Pandas provide many common mapping operations as built-ins. For example, here's a faster way of remaining our points column. The same thing, we want to remain the column so that it becomes 0. So how can we, what is the other way by which we can do? So here they are simply calculating the mean value and you are just subtracting it. If you simply subtract it in this way, other than writing in apply function or in lambda function, then also it will work. Okay, pandas is that easy. See, just write in this way, it will give you the same result. Okay. So in this code, we are performing an operation between a lot of values on the left hand side and also a single value on the right hand side. Pandas look at this expression and figures out that we must mean to subtract the value. Pandas will also understand what to do if we perform this operation between series of equal length. For example, an easy way of combining country and region information. See, here we are working with string also. So I want to write in this way. Italy minus the region. So you can write reviews.country. That means go to the reviews data frame, fetch the country column, give me the output. That is Italy. Plus, you are concatenating. Plus operator means concatenation operator. It will add them. So now you are adding a string. This is just string. So the string is printed. Now you are fetching the region column from the reviews data frame. So this is the Etna. Okay. And it will be done row wise. Every row will be taken, the operation will be performed. Okay. Now these operations are faster than map or apply because they use speed up built into pandas. All of the standard Python operator work in this manner. There are many operators in Python. I have a video on that too. You can watch if you have any confusion. I have explained all the operators. So they are applicable on this. Okay. However, they are not as flexible as map, which can do more advanced things like conditional logic. Simply, they want to say that if you need some simple operations like adding something or subtracting something, multiplying something, or showing output in a different kind of way. So in that scenario, you can simply use this kind of operators. Okay. Pandas can easily help with these things. But in case of doing some advanced operations, you have to know about lambda function or about map function or about apply function. Okay. Now let's do the exercise. Uh, Let me create the setup as usual. Then we can do the exercise. Okay. So what is the median of the points column in the reviews data frame? So we have calculated mean. What is the for median? So points dot median. See if you run this. Okay. What is the second way? There are multiple solutions to one problem. So try to do them. Will it work? Yes. I'm so sorry. Okay. This is also a way of fetching a column, right? So you are taking points column and you are applying the median. Okay. If you want the mean value, so you can write MIN. Okay. Now, what countries are represented in the data set? Your answer should not include any duplicates. So, what do you think? Which function you need to use? This one, unique. So, what you have to write? Name of the data set dot the country column dot unique function, right? Do you think this will work or it will give an error? What do you think? It's perfect. Now let's say if I write it, okay, let me do it here. Reviews come to. Now let me run this. Okay. How often does each country appear in the data set? So you have to do the count. So you have to use value counts function. So just write reviews dot each country. So you have to use the country column. Now you can write value counts. Okay. Now let me run this. Perfect. What happened? Same way you can apply in this method. Okay, you can use this method also. You do it by yourself. Now create a variable centered price containing a version of the price column with the mean price abstracted. So you just have to create a variable which will have the price column. So dot price. You can this one you can easily do by using subtraction operator. So now you write reviews dot price column with the mean price. So dot mean value. Okay, perfect. Now next one. I am an economical wine buyer. Which wine is the best bargain? And create a variable with the title of the wine with the highest point to price ratio. Okay, let's do it one by one step. First, you have to calculate points to price ratio so that you can understand that for higher point you are getting lower price and accordingly you can select them as your best wine. So you have to first calculate highest points to price ratio. Let's say if I keep it somewhere, I can write points to price. Okay, so this is points to price ratio. Now dot idx max. This function will give you the first occurrence, the index of the first occurrence of the maximum value in the series. Once you have done this, you have a series. Okay. Now you are seeking which one is the maximum. So you are seeking the maximum one and you are retrieving that particular index. That particular index of that maximum value. Okay. So now you can write bargain wine equals to this. You have got the index value of that maximum value of the series. So you have got the index value. Now how can you fetch it? That you have learned in our last class. Reviews dot loc. Now you have to write the value I, the index value. I is holding that index value which has the maximum points to price ratio. So I comma. Now you want to see which one is the best. So you have to know the name of the wine. So you can write title. Now let me run this. Okay, you have got it. Let me tell you the whole thing again. First, you are calculating points to price ratio. So once you get the points to price ratio, you have a series. Now you want to fetch which one is the maximum. So now you have selected the maximum one. You have got that row which is the maximum. Now you are fetching the index of that particular row. So once you have got that index value, you are keeping the index in I. Now you know how to fetch by using the index value. So you have to use LOC. This is the index value and you want what? The column name. You want title. Okay. So I think it's clear. Now the next one. There are only so many words you can use when describing a bottle of wine. Tropical or fruity. So create a series descriptor counts counting how many times each of these two words appear in a description column. K. So how many times each of these words appears in the description column? Mm, so you have to use the map function here, right? Let's say first I can write A equals to, I will take reviews dot, you have to take the description column. Now we will use the map. Now let's use the lambda function. Lambda d. Now if you don't know lambda function, you have to study a bit, but this is easy. So if the tropical is in D, so calculate this and make a total sum of this. Okay, perfect. I think no error. So now again, I have to do the same thing for reviews dot description dot map lambda d fruity in D dot sum. So once you have got the total of tropical, you have got the total of fruity. Now you can write this one. So cut. Now equals to, you have to call, you have to create a series, and there you can write A comma B. Okay, so it will take a series of value A and value B. Let me run this first. Incorrect value for descriptor counts. Reviews dot description dot map lambda tropical in DSC dot sum. Let me first print A. Let me see what is the output. Not showing what is A. Okay, just a minute. Mm, I write this. Switch working. Okay, it is fine. 3607. Same way, I can see B as well. So, okay, fine. Now I'm creating a series. So PD dot series, and I am taking A comma B and given index value also. Index equals to tropical comma fruity. So descriptor counts equal to, let's see the solution. You can see the hint also. Anyway, let's see the solution. See PD dot series in underscore tropical underscore fruity tropical fruity. If I copy this one and I paste it here, description counts, here I have to give A comma B. If I run this, what happened? It was exactly same. I don't know why it was showing as an error. If you can find anything, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, but this is the way. First, you have to calculate how many values are there in, which are, how many tropical are there in the description and how many fruity. You are calculating the sum. Then I am creating a series. So the this one 3607 and 9090, these are the series. Let me show you the output. Script. See, tropical 3607, fruity 9090. So these are index, tropical, comma, fruity. Okay, perfect. Now we would like to host those wine reviews on our website, but a rating system ranging from 80 to 100 points. It's too hard to understand. We would like to translate them into simple star rating. Score of 95 or higher counts as 3 star. Score 85 but less than 95 is 2 star. And any other score is 1 star. So just a for loop. You have to create a function. Or yeah. So I can write def rating system. Okay. Now mm, something if let's say so I have to pass every value. So or dot country Canadian automatically get 3 stars. So equals to checking condition that also we have learned in our previous class. So your checking condition, or if you have done Python course, then you know how to do this if else function. So once if you get it, Canada, if it is Canada, then return 3. Okay, no problem. Sorry. Now you have to write else if r dot country, sorry, not country, r dot points. So if points equal to not equal to it's greater than equals to 95, then same indentation you have to be careful. I'll copy what you try to write. Okay, so else if it is greater than 85, so it will get 2. And last one, you don't need to give else if. So this one is else. Else you have to return 1. Okay. So if Canada or greater than 95, we'll get 3. Greater than 85, 2. Else it will be 1. So we have created a series star ratings. No, we have not created it yet. We have created the function. Now we will create the star ratings. So I'll write star ratings equals to, let me show you. Hmm, the where is that? Apply this function. If you call this function, it will automatically call. It will automatically take every row and it will call the function, perform the operations. Then it will give you a. So let me copy and paste it here. So apply. Here the function name is rating system. Okay. Now if you apply this star ratings, so what you are doing, you are apply on what? On the data frame. So you are calling the data frame, you are calling, so you are taking the data frame, you are calling the apply function, you are calling the this function, def function, and def function and column wise. So if I run it, I did, sorry. Okay, so now it is correct. Okay, so simply you are just creating a function. So do one thing, you think of some question of your own and then try to make a function, create a function by yourself and then try to use that apply function. Okay. And if you want me to solve more questions for you, then let me know in the comment section. I will try to create a separate class. But this class is very specific to Kaggle, so that's why I am not described anything else. Okay, I hope you have liked the class. Let's meet in our next session. Till then, bye. Happy learning. Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. So let's continue our Pandas course. As of now, we have completed 3 lessons. In the first lesson, we learned how to create a data frame, how to create a series, how to convert a CSV into data frame, and vice versa. Then we also learned how to select particular rows or columns and from a big data set. Okay, then we learned how to do the mapping. Now today our topic is grouping and sorting. As usual, we will first read, then we will do the exercise. Okay, let me read. Maps allows us to transform data in a data frame or series one value at a time for an entire column. That we have learned in our last class. However, often we want to group our data and then do something specific to the group the data is in. Sometimes you may need to create groups of your data to do some operations. So for this, you have to use group by operation. Okay. Now see, one function we have been using heavily is value counts function that we learned in our last class. It counts the what? The unique values of any data set. Okay. Let's see the hidden code. It is same as usual. Okay. Now see, they have used the group by function. First, let me show you how group by function works. Okay. Mm, the data set is same. Reviews the wine reviews data set. Okay. Now let's say I want to create a group based on country. So I can write group by, it will create the groups. Now based on a column name. Let's say I want to create the group based on country. Now if I run it, see it is saying that this is a data frame group by object. So what it will do, it will create a group based on the country. Okay. If I write any aggregation function, mean, it's not mean, I'm so sorry. So if I write count, see Argentina 3800, Armenia, Australia, Austria. So you can see that it is grouped based on the country. First A, then B, then C, and all the countries appearing once. So a group of Argentina, a group of Armenia, a group of Australia. So you can apply any operations after creating a group. Okay. So this is the name of the data frame. You are calling the group by function based on which column. You can select any column. You can write price. So the price, based on price, you are creating the group. And then you are doing the operation. You can do any operation. It depends on whether it's numerical or categorical. So depending on that and depending on your need, you can do any operation. So the main theme is that you are creating group based on the given column. Okay? You are dividing the data set into different categories based on your given column name. Okay. Now let's do this one. Here they have created a group based on points column. So group by created a group of reviews which allotted the same point values to the given ones. So they want to see that how many have got 80 points, how many wine have got 81 points, how many wine have got 99 points. So for that you have to create separate groups, a group for 80 points, a group for 81 points. Then if you apply the count function, so you can count. Let me show it to you here. So uh, see if I run this, see 80 points, 397. For 81 points, for 82 points. So it is creating groups, and after that they are doing some count operation. So if I just um write this one, let's see what is the output. See for 80, these are the count values. So when you are doing the count on any particular values, like here they are doing the counts on points, then it will give you the total count in this way. Okay. So let's read this. Group by created a group of reviews which allotted the same point values to the given one. So we can say that 80 points, 397 wine has received 80 points. Okay. So then for each of these groups, we grabbed the points column and counted how many times it appeared. So once you have got this group, now you have taken the points column, making a count. Okay, perfect. And value counts is just a shortcut to this group by operation. Value counts we have learned before also. Value counts also does the same. It is also creating groups and then giving you the total value, total unique values, but in a bit different way, and there is a slight changes in the output. But you can think that it is also working in that way only. Okay. So we can use any of the summary functions we have used before with this data. See here, first you have created a group by using points column, and then on that you are taking the price column and calculating the mean value. Okay, so what is happening here? First, what you are doing, you are grouping based on the points column. So 80 points will fetch all those rows where the point is 80. So it has become a group of 80 points. Now you have made a group of 81 points. After making the group, you are taking the price column. Once you get the price column, now you are trying to find which one has the minimum price. Okay. So for 80 points, 5.0 is the minimum points. For 81 points, 5.0 is the minimum price. Okay. So you are just trying to get the cheapest wine for each point. Now let's think that if I want to calculate the costliest wine for each point, then what will be the costliest wine for each point? Then what you have to do? Then you have to write max. Now see, for 80 points, this is the costliest value, 69. For 81, 130. Okay, so that way you can group your data and you can find that, okay, for these points, this is the minimum value. For these points, this is the maximum coin price. Okay, so you can think of each group we generate as being a slice of our data frame containing only data with values that much. This data frame is accessible to us directly using the apply method, and we can then manipulate the data in any way we see fit. For example, here's one way of selecting the name of the first wine reviewed from each winery in the dataset. Okay, this is simple. They just want to see the first wine from each winery in the dataset and using this group by method. So first you have to make a group based on winery because you want to see the first wine from each winery. So first you have to make a group on this each winery. So reviews dot group by on winery column. Okay. Now you know how to use the apply function. If you use the apply function, then this stated function will be applied on the dataset. Now, what is this function? Lambda is an anonymous function because here it has no name. This function has no name. This is simple. Now, this is just a variable. You can write anything, whatever you want to write. Then you are taking the title column because you want to select the name. So, name means you have to select the title and of the first one. So you are also giving the index position of that name of that title column. Okay, so title dot iloc 0. Clear? First, you are making a group based on winery on the dataset, and then based on winery, uh, just let me show you. If I write reviews, there will be a group of Nicosia, then there will be a group of this one, then there will be a group of rainstorm, and after that you are applying this function. After you have created the group, now you are fetching the title column. So now you are going to this column, okay, and you are taking the value in the first position. Okay, so every winery you are grouping based on winery. So now you have a group of every winery. Now you are going to the first winery. Then you are going to the title column. Then you are fetching the first title of that particular binary. Okay. So what will be the output? The output will be this one. See, this is the name of this is the binary column, and here the first title of that particular binary. Okay. So you are understanding where to use the group by method. Now for even more fine-grained control, you can also group by more than one column. Yeah, you can do by multiple columns also. So first you have grouped by country column. Then you have grouped by province column. So first Argentina. Argentina has two provinces. So this is the first one, other is the second one. Same, Uruguay has two. San Jose, Uruguay. So first you are making the groups based on country, then you are also considering the province, and you are creating a tables of country and province taking together. Okay, you are making the groups based on these two things, country and province as well. Okay, and after that you are applying a function, that is lambda function. Same, you are just doing df.loc df.points.idx max. Do you remember what is idx max? We discussed in our last class. It will fetch you the index value of the first occurrence of the maximum number. Okay. So here the question is how we would pick out the best wine by country and province. So when you are getting by country and province, you have to group by based on country and province. Now how we would pick out the best wine? So for the best wine means what? You have to find the maximum of the points. That wine which has received the maximum number of points is the best wine. So you are taking the points column, you are checking that which wine has got the maximum points, you are fetching the index of that particular column. Okay, once you are fetching that particular index column, you are passing it through log, so it will give you the value. Now you are taking that as an output. Clear? Let me repeat the whole thing. Okay, first we are creating a groups based on country and province. Based on this, now we want the best wine. So to get the best wine, we have to go to the points. We have to find which points has the maximum value. So we will take the points column. We will fetch the index which has the maximum points. After we get that index, we are passing it through LOC, then we will get the value of the total value of that particular index position. Then we are using that lambda function, and we are using the apply method so that it can be done on the complete data set. Okay, now when you do practice by yourself, this will be clear, not a difficult one. Okay, another group by method worth mentioning is AGG, which lets you run a bunch of different functions on your data frame simultaneously. See, you can do this all these things together also. For that, let's say they are doing group by based on country. So the output is Argentina, Armenia, Ukraine, Uruguay. Every country is divided into groups. Now you are taking the price column, and on that price column you want to say the minimum price, the length, and the maximum price. So you have to use the AGG function, and inside the function you can pass all these through. Okay, that is also very simple. Now, effective use of group by will allow you to do so many things. Now, multi-index. In all of the examples we have seen that the series has single level index. But group by is slightly different in the fact that it sometimes result in multi-index also. Multi-index means you have two indexes. Okay. Always we have worked with the single index, but in case of using group by, it may form a multi-index. Just like the before. Reviews dot group by country province. So here country province both of them are the index. Now you are doing a simple operation. They want to check how many number of words are there in the description. So they have taken the description column, the aggregate function, and then they are calculating the length. Okay. So here you can see that this table has multiple index. That's what they wanted to say, that it may have multi-index. If you just use the type function, you know it shows you what is the type, so it will show you that this is a multi-index. Now multi-indices have several methods for dealing with their tiered structure which are absent for single level indices. Right. They also require two levels of levels to retrieve a value. The use cases for multi-index are designed. Okay, we will read that later. However, in general, this method you will most often is the one for converting back to a regular index. Okay, reset index, in anywhere you can use whenever you want to create your own separate index like this. You want that by default index. Okay, so you can just write reset index. So what will happen? This will not remain as index anymore, and a separate index, that by default index starting from 0 and counting 1 2 3 as like that, so it will be reset. Okay, now the another concept, that is sorting. Sorting is just ascending, descending. So you are just sorting 1 2 3 4, or if you want you can sort in 4 3 2 1. Concept is same. See, looking again at countries reviewed, we can see that grouping returns the data in index order but not in value order. Exactly. So this is to say, when outputting the result of a group by, the order of rows is dependent on the values in the index, not on the data. When you want them to be dependent on the data, not on the index, so you can use sort by. Okay, you can do ascending or descending. Let's see. First, they have reset the index. Okay. Now they are sorting the values depending on length. Having the highest length will be at the end. Lowest length will be at the first. Okay. So sort underscore values function is used for that. And by, based on which you want to do the sorting. So I want to do the sorting based on length. Okay. And before that, they have reset the index. Okay. Now sort values defaults to an ascending sort as usual. But in case you want it to be descending, then you have to mention it ascending equal to false. If you don't mention, then what will happen? Then it will be sorted in ascending order. So, however, most of the time we want a descending where the higher number goes first, because we want to know which has the highest price, which wine has the highest number of points. So that's why most of the times we use the descending. But the concept is same, sort values by which column, and ascending equal to false means it will be in descending order. Okay. See here, the maximum length is on the top. Or if you want to sort by index values, then you can write sort underscore index. So it will be sorted as per the index value. Finally, you can sort by more than one column at a time. Okay, so countries reviewed dot sort underscore values, two columns, country and length. So you are sorting based on this, and you are sorting then based on length. So first it will take Argentina, then Bolivia, then whatever the alphabetical order. So after first it will be sorted in the country manner, then accordingly it will be sorted in lengthwise. Okay. See, first Argentina, then Argentina. But here length is 536, 3264. First Argentina is sorted as country is sorted, then length. Then lengthwise it will be in ascending order. Because you have not mentioned ascending equal to false. Okay, so you can sort in both way also. Okay, now let's do the exercise that is already open. So who are the most common wine reviewers in the dataset? First, let me show you the dataset. Most common wine reviewers. So you have to first make a group of the reviewer. Then if you count them, then you can find which one has given the maximum times of review. Okay. So you have to make a group of the reviewer, right? Paste a Twitter handle category from the dataset. So how you can make a group of the reviewer? So I can write name of the data frame, then group by function, and then uh, I'll make a group on on the reviewer column. This is the reviewer. So, so this will create a group by object, right? Now what I want, now it is grouped. So there is a group of this one, there is a group of this one. Okay. So now I will take this particular column and I will do a count dot count. If I run this, okay. So by count or by size you can do. But let me show you one more thing. First, let me show you the output. Reviews underscore written. see the output first. Okay, so you can see, you can now tell that Annie has commented this much, and you can get the values. Okay, now if you want to sort it, so you can simply sort it and you can find who have given the most, who have given the least. Okay, so most common wine reviewers or the least common wine reviewers in the data set you can find by doing different kind of operations. Anyway, but you have understood that how we can create a group based on any particular column. Okay, now let me show you one more thing. If I write the same thing, not the same thing, but something different. But we have learned this before also. Mm, the value counts function. What is the difference between these two? See, this is also giving you the same kind of output. Okay. Here also you can find the most common wine reviewers. Can you find? And what is the difference between these two? By giving the group by function, by giving the value counts. So the difference is that value counts is counting the total number of unique values. So what it does, let me show you the this one, the table. So in value counts, what it is doing, it is first taking this one. Okay. Now it is trying to find where this value is existing again. In the maybe in the third row or maybe in the fifth row. So it is just counting the total number of rows where this particular uh, data is appearing. Okay, that is done in the value counts. So it is counting that is in first row, it is in fifth row, it is in seventh row. So total 1 plus 1 plus 1. Three times it is appearing. That's what is done in value counts. But in case of group by, it is first creating groups. First it is making a group of all this. Then it is making a group of all this. And then it is counting the total values. So there is a change in output. See, first a group is created and the group is always created in alphabetical order. So C, A, J, then first capital, then small letter P, S, V, W. Okay. So it is in alphabetical manner. First, alphabetically, it is making groups of different tables of, or we can say groups of different wine reviewers. Okay. Then it is doing the count. But in case of value counts, it is just taking the first one and trying to find where it is reappearing and then doing the count. I hope it is clear. Okay, now what is the best wine I can buy for a given amount of money? Let's say I have $10. So which is the best wine I can buy? So how will I decide that? That for $10, which one is the best wine? So for that you will try to find that which points is the maximum you can get for $10 values. That one you will buy. So for that they have told you to create a series. Index is the wine prices and values is the maximum number of points a wine costing that much was given in a review. Okay. So for a particular price for $10 or $20, what is the maximum number of points you can get? So if you think that for $20 you can get a wine of 80 points and you can get a wine of 90 points, which one will you select? The one has 90 points because the price is same but the point is more. So let's do the solution. Okay, so you have to first create index, wine prices, and values is the maximum number of points. So first you have to create the group based on prices. You have to make the prices as index. So you have to first group by price. So you just write best rating per price equal to reviews dot group by based on price column. So you have now created groups based on price column. Okay. Your second step is find the number of points. So you can write points. Okay. So now you have got the points column. Now you want to know the maximum number of points. So you have to write dot max. Okay. Now you can, after that you can do the sorting also. Sort the values by price. Okay. Let me first show you what is the output for this one. See, now you can see for $4, this is the maximum you can get. For $5, you can get 87 points. For $6, you can get points, 88 points of wine. For $7, you can get a wine which has got 91 points. Okay. Now, if I write score index. So you have understood what has happened right now. You have got the base rating point for the lowest price. Clear? Now let me tell you the whole thing once again. First, we have created a group based on price. Now we have the reviews with the same price grouped together. Perfect. Second, we have taken the points column. For each group, we want to know the maximum value of the points column. Okay. Once you have got this, you have just sorted the index. Okay. Now I think it's clear. Now let's do the next one. What are the minimum and maximum prices for each variety of wine? For each variety. So you have to group on variety. Okay. So prices extremes equal to reviews dot group by variety. Okay. So now on that you can write minimum value and maximum value. Minimum prices and maximum prices. So you have to take the price column. Now you want both of them. So you have to use aggregate function. See, here we learned this. Mm, aggregate function, exactly this one. So you can write mean, max, just like that. Okay, let me run this. Uh, okay, so let's see the output. Okay, so for these are the name of the varieties. Okay, now this is the minimum value, this is the maximum value. If you want, you can write something else also. Okay, so we have done this. Now the next one. What are the most expensive wine varieties? So create a variable containing a copy of the data frame from the previous question, whose varieties are sorted in descending order based on the minimum price, then on maximum price. Okay, so you have to take help of the previous ones. So you can either select this one, or if you want, you can select this one also. Same thing. But let's see. So on that, you have to do the sorting. Varieties are sorted in descending order. So sort values based on minimum price, then on maximum price. So for sort, let me show you how did we do the sorting. See, by equals to the properties. So by equals to, we want to do on minimum then maximum. So first write minimum, then write maximum. Okay, so it is sorted. Now it is in descending order. So you have to write ascending equal to false. Okay, now let me run this. Fine. Just whatever you did here, you are just sorting. So let me show you the output. Okay. Now the next one. Create a series whose index is reviewers, okay, and whose values is average review score given out by that reviewer. You will need tester name and points column. Okay, so index is reviewer and values is the average review score given out by that reviewer. Okay, so they are talking about tester name and points. Tester name is the name of the reviewer. So index is reviewer means you have to group on reviewers. So reviews dot group by. Now the column name is tester name. So column name is tester name. Now we would have to take the points column. Values is the average review score. So here review score means the points. So points. Now you want average. So to calculate average, I think you know it's min. So now let's run it. What happened? Tester underscore name. Oh, sorry. This is just string. So you have to be very careful about spaces and all these things. Okay. Now, are there any significant differences in the average scores assigned by the various reviewer? Oh, run the cell below to see a summary. See. What combination of countries and varieties are most common? So, multi-index. Create a series whose index is a multi-index of country and variety. Uh, what was that multi-index? This one. Okay, same. Same like that you have to do. For example, US would be mapped to US and Pinot Noir produced in US. So sort the value series in descending order based on wine count. Okay. So what you can do first, first you have to group by reviews dot see here. Group by on this both of them. I will copy reviews dot group by country and here country and variety province. Okay, so country and variety, these are the index. So you will grow based on this. Then it will become the index, right? Now you want to know which are the most common. So you have to count. So you can simply write count or size. Okay, now size. So which combination of countries and varieties are most common? Create a series, for example, and then you have to sort the values. So you have to sort the values. So just this will be incorrect because we have not sorted yet. So sort underscore values on ascending or descending on descending. So if it is descending, then you have to write ascending equals to false. Ascending equals to false. Okay. Now let me run this. Okay, clear? So just see the see. This is the index US Pinot Noir country variety, and now you have made a count of them. Okay. Now if I tell you to make by a default index. Then this one I don't want as an index. So what will you do? Write in the comment section. Okay. So meet in our next class. Till then, bye. Happy learning. Hello everyone. Welcome back to this channel. So let's continue our Pandas course. And as of now, we have completed 4 lessons. Okay. So today we are going to understand about data types and missing values. Now, in this tutorial, you will learn how to investigate data types within a data frame or series. And to start the exercise, the data type for a column in the data frame or a series is known as the D type. And you can use this D type property to grab the type of specific column. So, for instance, we can get the D type of price column in the reviews data frame. Okay, so you want to know the data type of any particular column. For that, you have to use this D type. Okay, so if you write reviews dot price dot D type, Reviews is the same binary data set. And price is the price column. So you are taking the data from, you are fetching the particular column and you want to check what is the data type of the price column. Okay. So the answer will be float 64. So it will just give you the types of the data. Now alternatively, the dtypes property returns the data type of every column in the data frame. If you write it on the data frame itself, then it will give you data type of each of the column present in the dataset. Country, description, variety, binary. Okay. So data types tells us something about how Pandas is storing the data internally. Float means it is a 64-bit floating point number. Int means this is similarly sized integer. And one peculiarity to keep in mind is that columns consisting entirely of string. See, country column is of a string. Description, string. But they don't get their own data type, but instead it is given as object data type. Okay. Now it is possible to convert a column of one type into another whenever such a conversion makes sense by using the astype function. For example, we may transform the points column from its existing int64 data type to a float64 data type. So reviews.points.astype float64. So what you are doing here, you are just converting one data type to another. It's not that the data type is always fixed. You can easily convert to another data type depending on your need. Okay. So for that you have to use astype function. Okay. So now this is converted into float 64. Now a data frame or series index has its own dtype too. So reviews.index.dtype. So index has its own data type and that is in 64. Now Pandas also supports more exotic data types such as categorical data, time series data because these data types are more rarely used. We will omit them until a much later section. Okay, no problem. We can study later. Now our next topic is missing data. So entries missing values are given the value nan, short for not a number. Maybe during entry or for any technical reasons, some values are missing. Instead, they are just written as nan. You can see no country is missing. That may be a data typing error or maybe that data was not found. Due to any reasons, they are having nan values. But while applying the algorithm, you cannot use that nan values directly. So either you have to delete those values or you have to replace them with some other values. Okay. So now these NaN values are always float 64 D type. Okay, so Pandas provides some methods specific to missing data. To select the NaN entries, you can use pd.ignal operation or pd.notnull. pd.ignal means that please check where the values are missing. Okay, so it will show you the rows where the values are missing. And notnull is exactly opposite. Please check where the values are not missing. So it will show you the data where the values are not missing. Okay. Now, if I write reviews, the data frame pd.isNull, pd for pandas, you are calling isNull function, and inside this you are passing reviews.country column. So that means, see, reviews.country means it will fetch the country column. On that, it will check whether it is null or not null. If it is null, then return me that row. So see, these are all null values or nan values. Okay. And then you are passing it through the data frame so that you can see the output. Okay. Now, you have found that there are missing values. So, you have to replace them. So, replacing missing values is a very common operation. So, you have to do it many times. So, Pandas provide a really handy method for this problem, that is fill-na. Whenever you use that fill-na, what it does, it takes all the missing values and fill it with the given value. So, reviews.region underscore to fill-na unknown. It means first you are accessing this particular column, this one. Now you are telling that please fill all the nan values. Please fill all the nan values with this unknown word. You can give anything, 0, 1, 2, any string, anything. Okay. So this will simply fill this nan category into unknown. Okay. See, this is the output. Now if you pass it through reviews, if you write reviews and within third bracket you pass this whole thing, then it will show you the data set like this way. And here instead of nan, it will be written as unknown. Okay. Now, or we could fill each missing value with the first non-null value that appears sometime after the given record in the database. This is known as backfill strategy. There are two types of things. One is backward filling, another one is forward filling. While filling the data, what you can do, you can think that maybe the nearest one, the previous one, is the best choice for this null value. So you can fill backward, or you can do the opposite also. You can think that the next row may be the exact, maybe the best choice for this non value. So you can take the values from this one and replace the non values by the next row number. So these two are known as backward filling or forward filling. Okay. Anyway, next. Alternatively, we may have a non-null value that we would like to replace. Okay, now you don't have null values. You have some values, but you want to replace them with something else. For example, suppose that since this data set was published, reviewer has changed her Twitter handle from this to this. Okay, so now you have to replace the name. So for that, you have to call the replace method. Data frame, that particular column where you want to replace. Now replace method, this was the previous one, you are replacing with this one. Okay, this is the code, so it will be replaced. Now the replace method is worth mentioning here because it's handy to replace missing data with some kind of values. Like as I said, you can give any values, depends on you. Okay, now let's do the exercise. First, complete the setup. Now, what is the data type of the points column in the dataset? So, first you have to write the name of the dataset. Reviews, columns, points. So you have faced the point column of the reviews data set. Now you want to know the data type. So D type. Okay. It is not done. So after that, okay. Now create a series from entries in the points column. Okay. But convert the entries to strings. Simple. They have told you to change the data type. This one. So you have to use this as type function. Okay. First you have to make the series. So if you write reviews dot points, it will create the series from entries. Now you have to convert it into string. See, you have to convert it into a string data type. So let's run it. Okay, now you can see the solution. Now sometimes the price column is null. How many reviews in the data set are missing a price? So you have to count how many null values are present in the price column. Okay, simple. So first what you have to do? First you have to fetch the price column. Okay. Now you will check whether there is a null value. So you can write is null. Double L. Okay. So first you have taken the price column. Now you are checking whether there is a null value. If it is, then add them. So make a sum of them. Okay. So it will give you the price column having a missing value. Okay. Now, what are the most common wine producing regions? Create a series counting the number of times each value occurs in the region 1 field. This field is often missing data, so replace missing values with unknown and sort in descending order. Okay, let's do one by one. So, first, what we will do, reviews dot most common wine producing regions. So you have to create a series counting the number of times each value occurs in the region 1. So first you have to take the region 1 column. So sorry, region 1. Now you have to count the number of times. But this field is often missing data. So replace the missing values with unknown. So you have to do fill now to replace the missing values with unknown. Okay, count the unique values. Value counts function. Okay, so you are taking the region one. You are checking whether there are any missing values. If there is any missing values, then fill them with unknown values. Then count the total values, and after that you have to do this one. So sort in descending order. So dot sort underscore values, and descending means you have to make ascending equal to false. Sorting we learned in our last class. Okay, I think it's perfect. Okay, so it's done. Let's meet in our next class. Till then, bye. Happy learning. Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. So let's continue our Pandas course. As of now, we have completed 5 lessons, and today we are going to study renaming and combining. First, we will read, then we will do the exercise. Oftentimes, data will come to us with column names, index names, or other naming conventions that we are not satisfied with. In that case, you will learn how to use pandas functions to change the names of the offending entries to something better. Maybe sometimes you need to change the names, name of the column, name of the index. So, in that cases, you have to use some pandas functions that we are going to study today. Okay. So renaming. The first function we will introduce here is rename, which lets you change index names or column names. So you can change the name of the index or you can change the name of any column by using the rename function. For example, let's say in our data set, that is the reviews data set. I hope you remember reviews data set is the data set about that wine. Reviews data set. There was one column called points. You want to change the name of the point column as score column. So what you have to do? The data frame, the rename function, which will rename, and inside this you have to pass columns equal to points to score. So point column will be changed to score column. Okay. Let me show you. See, this was before points column, but now it has been changed to score column. Okay. If I tell you to change the name of the description column to something else, so how will you write that? So you have to write reviews dot rename columns equal to description to the name you want to change. Okay. Now rename lets you rename the index or column values by specifying a index or column keyword parameter. It supports a variety of input formats, but usually a Python dictionary is the most convenient. Here is the example using it to rename some elements of the index. See here, reviews.rename. Here what you are doing, you are changing the name of the index. Okay, so you are using the index keyword parameter. It was column, now it is index. So you are telling that take the data frame, go to that, call the rename function, go to the index and then find where is 0. Then rename it as first entry. Find 1. Rename it as second entry. Okay, so this is just a dictionary. See? Okay, so 0 and 1 are the keys. First entry, second entry is the value. So you are renaming 0 as first entry, 1 as second entry. Okay. See, 0 has been changed, 1 has been changed. So you can rename the index in this way. Now you will probably rename columns very often, but rename index may be very rarely. So for that, set underscore index is usually more convenient. Okay, both the row index and column index can have their own name attribute. The complementary rename axis method may be used to change these names. See, if you write reviews dot rename underscore axis and then you are giving the name which will become your rows, axis equal to rows, that means wines will become the rows. Okay, dot rename dot axis fields, axis equal to columns, fields will become your columns. So see, country, description, designation, this has become the column and wine has become the row. Change the name of the row axis and column axis. Okay. Now combining. When performing operations on a dataset, we will sometimes need to combine different data frames or series in non-trivial ways. Pandas has 3 core methods for doing this. In order of increasing complexity, these are concat, join, merge. Most of what merge can do also can be done more simply with join. We will omit it and focus on the first two functions. See, sometimes you may have more than one data set and you need to join them so that you can perform some operations. So for combining them, or I can say for joining the separate data sets, you may either use concat or join or merge. Here they have talked about concat and join. Okay. So the simplest is the concat. Hmm. Data frame. If we study which splits. Okay. They have YouTube videos dataset. One is about Canadian YouTube video and another one is British YouTube. So two different datasets. Now you want to make them a single dataset. So you can simply call the concat function. This is concatenation. So it will concat Canadian YouTube with British YouTube. Okay, let me show this to you. Mm, See, video ID, trending date, title, channel title, category ID, publish time. Tags, views, like, comments, counts. Okay, this is the Canadian YouTube dataset. Now, if I add British YouTube, let me say this one. So this one also has video ID, trending date, title, channel title, category ID, same columns. But here see 16 columns. Here also you have 16 columns, but rows are different. Okay, so our job is now to merge them. I mean to concatenate them. So how can you do this? So you have to just write this one. You have to call the concatenate function and you have to pass this name of the two datasets. So now see, total has been added. It was 38,000, 40,000. So see, 78,000. Okay, so they are added one, they are added vertically. After the Canadian YouTube, the British YouTube data are shown. Okay, now the middlemost combiner in terms of complexity is join. Join lets you combine different data frame objects which have an index in common. Now suppose if you want to add horizontally, like first you want this side to be Canadian, then you want to start the British YouTube. So in that case, you can use the join. Let me show you the output, then it will be more clear. See, let me copy the whole thing first. See, video ID, the name has been changed. Channel ID, category ID. After that, uh, views UK, likes UK, dislikes UK. So what is happening here? First you are creating an index by using set index, title and trending date. So these two columns are used as index now. Okay. Uh, Let me show you one by one. See, if I copy this and paste now, see, now see the index, title and trending date. So first you are setting the index, Canadian YouTube dot set and index, title, trending date. So these are now set as index. Okay. Now if I do that second step, sorry, right, 30 seconds. I don't know what, why it's not working. Okay. So write index. Now see in the British YouTube also you have set the index, title and trending date. So in both the data frame now the index is same, title, trending date. Okay. Now what you want to do? You want to add them horizontally. So it will be added first there will be Canadian, then there will be British. Okay. So for that you have to write this one. Left, that means you are taking the Canadian YouTube. dot join. Join is the method which will join these two data frame. And now you are taking the right. So the British YouTube dataset. Okay. Now here you are providing L suffix Canada, R suffix UK. This is because you have the same name, so there will be a confliction, same column name in both of the cases. So if you write underscore CAN, then what will happen? For the Canadian YouTube dataset, after the column name, there will be underscore CAN. So that you can understand that this is for Canadian YouTube. Same way for the right table, for this one, the R suffix will be underscore UK. So you can understand that these are for UK YouTube. Okay. So what is happening here? You are adding them, or I can say you are joining them vertically. So you are calling the join function. But before that, you have to set index, common index. So based on that common index, you can simply join them. And if you have the same name, same column names, then you have to give some suffix, L suffix or R suffix. Okay, so that you can avoid the contradictions. Now the L suffix and R suffix parameters are necessary here because the data has same column names. So if it was not true, then you don't need them. Okay, now let's do the exercise. So let's start the exercise. First, review dot head just to see you know this data set. Now, region 1 and region 2 are pretty uninformative names for local columns in the dataset. So, create a copy of reviews with this column, rename to region and local. Simple, they have said that please rename region 1 and region 2 as region and local. Okay. So, data frame, rename function, and here you have to write in this way. Okay. I'll copy, but I'll suggest you not to copy. So, columns equal to you want region 1 to become region and you want region underscore 2 to become local. Okay, region underscore 1. Okay, so it will be renamed. Fine. Now set the index name in the dataset to wines. Sorry. Okay, now set the index name as wines. So you have to use this one. Set the index as wines. So you will copy this one and reviews dot you are changing the axis name, so rename underscore axis method will be called. Now you are giving as wines and axis equal to rows. Okay, axis equal to rows means the index name will be set to wines. Okay, now the things on Reddit dataset includes product links from a selection of top ranked forums. Okay, run the cell below to load a data frame of products mentioned on the gaming Reddit, another on the movie subreddit. Okay, so another one is in gaming, one is in movies. Okay, now let's see what is the output. Name, category, Amazon link, total mention, subreddit mention, subreddit. Okay, what about the movie products? Subreddit, same. Okay, so what you have to do now? The question is create a data frame of products mentioned either on subreddit. Okay, whether it is mentioned here or is it mentioned here. So simply you have to concatenate. So if you concatenate, then you can check whether it is in this product or sorry in this data set or in this particular data set. So it simply can be done by using the concatenation operator. Let me show you concat method. So pd dot concat. Okay, this one you have to do concat and you have to write the name. One is movie product and another one is gaming product. So, gaming underscore products. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, now can you do this using join? If I want to add them horizontally, then how can you do? Let me show you that too. Think left equal to, you are taking the first one. So the gaming products. Okay. Now you have to make an index. Let's say I'll take the name as index. So I will take left equal to dot set underscore index, and I will set name. Okay. Same way I will do for the right table also. So here I will write right. This is not gaming but movie, right? Okay. Now let's run them. Now check what is the output for left. See, name has become the index. Now what is the output for right? Okay, perfect. Now I can join them. I'm just doing it so that you can understand how to add this using join. So you have to write left dot join right, and I can give L suffix as game and R suffix as mm, movie. Okay. Now if I run this, see, category game, Amazon link game, total mentions game, and next these are movie. Okay. Once it has been completed, then it starts for the movie data set. Okay. So it depends on your need, but you can do in any way. Now the next question. The powerlifting database data set on Kaggle includes one CSV table for powerlifting meets and separate one for powerlifting competitors. So run the cell below to load this dataset into DataFrame. Okay, both tables include references to a meet ID, a unique key for each competition included in the database. Using this generated data set, combining the two tables into one. Here, actually, you have to use the join one. So, same now, I think you can do it by yourself. Still, left equals to, I will write, I'll copy this. Okay, powerlifting meets dot set underscore index, and here you have to pass meet ID. Meet ID. Okay. Same way, I'll write for right, and here it will be not powerlifting mates but competitors. Competitors. Set index meet ID. Okay. Now left dot right. Sorry, left dot join. I have to write right, comma. Comma. You can give suffix or you can not. First check what is the um, what is there inside the data set. Let's check that first. Meet ID, meet path, federation. Okay. And what about powerlifting competitors? Meet ID, name, sex, equipment. Okay. So there are 8 columns and here 17 columns. And the column names are completely different. So you don't need to give any L suffix or R suffix. You need to give if the column names are same. Okay, clear. So congratulations, you have finished Pandas micro course. And but there are many things to learn, and I have made a playlist on Python libraries. There I discussed pandas in details, and many other things like grouping, sorting. These things are described in EDA. I have a complete video on EDA. There I discussed about structuring, sorting, different kind of EDA techniques. So you can see that video too, so that you can practice a lot. You have to practice a lot. That is the main key. Okay. Meet in our next class. Till then, bye. Happy learning. And let me know on which topic you want me to make my next video. Okay. Bye. Happy learning.